Uh, the Americans are unhappy not just with how he's handling the war, but with how he's handling the economy, and gas prices are continuing to put downward pressure on these numbers for him.
And it's mystifying to hear him refer to yesterday's race in Texas as though it's some kind of indication of how much he doesn't care, or for some reason, a clear explanation as to why. Because I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. That Paxton race, the decision to get involved in a race to essentially elevate a candidate who has so many negatives going for him, it doesn't make any sense at all. It complicates his party's ability to get anything done in Congress going forward. It gives him someone who he's going to be at odds with in the Senate for many, many months to come. And all of it, including that strange circus in that cabinet meeting, like seems like a president who's utterly detached from the fact that his policies simply have not produced the golden age that was promised when he was accepting the nomination and accepting the office, being inaugurated the second time. It's an extraordinarily bad look for him. None of this suggests that he actually has tapped into what the American people are concerned about. And the most dire aspect of this is that things are likely to get worse. We've seen these economic reports that continue to indicate that things are looking dicier for the consumer, but also that the market itself is under a tremendous amount of pressure. And we're not exactly certain how that's going to turn out. So my suspicion is that by November, things will look much bleaker for the administration than they currently do. And they won't be able to hide behind any of this rhetoric or people going around the table saying nice things about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it seems to me that people spending more money on everything is not something to be smiling about.
Yeah, I have a very hard time making sense out of what you were just laying out there, especially when I consider what the administration spent most of last year doing, which was waging wars on essentially the price level by trying to increase the tariffs across the globe. That has a direct implication on the cost that consumers are going to pay for just about everything. Even the president himself was assuring us, well, yeah, there may be a little pain for a little while. That is not a DoorDash problem. That's not me not knowing how to cook a meal for myself at home. These are the direct implications of policy decisions. And the reality is that the pain would have been a great deal worse but for setbacks that he had because of some complications he encountered in the courts and amongst a few, unfortunately, precious few members of his own party who objected to these ruinous policies. Well, what I'm concerned about, the thing I'm wondering is what the next question in that interview is, because it ought to be, so why did you lie at the time? And I'm not certain that that's what's going to be asked. If I could wager about this on Polymarket, I probably wouldn't bet in favor of that question being asked, which I think is an indictment of our industry, the people who are asking these questions. I actually think there's a heck of a lot of critical inquiry about the Trump administration today amongst the media elites. The challenge, however, apart from Alex Thompson and Jake Tapper, as they document in their book, there weren't a lot of people asking those sober questions early on about Joe Biden, which is why we didn't.
I have to say,